I need the parties to take a look at the juror in seat number 30, I believe. Look at the occupation of that juror. She works for FDLE as a senior crime analyst. Is she listed as a witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I don't recognize that name. That doesn't mean that person won't know.
Yeah. So there's another 96 people down there? Oh, dear Lord. We're not going to get through all that. I wonder if I'm going to cause a riot if I tell them to randomly pick 30 people or retain 60 and release everybody else. Have they already pulled the fourth panel? For 3 o'clock. Have they pulled that panel? Tell them to pull that panel and release everyone else. We ain't gonna get through all this people. Are they here? Nope. Okay.
Andy's at the door.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, there's no reason to hold those people here. Bring them in.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's call your number. Please come forward. In the meantime, I need all cell phones, watches, smart devices turned off completely before I need please. 833. This is your badge number when I call your number. Come on in. 786. 686. 578. 643. 646. You can look at that point, please. Come on in. 847. 847.
643.
Right? Come on now, please. 891. 609. 781.
891? I'm hearing yes. 7, 609? You're going to be at 250 all the way in?
781. Come on, please. 590. Come on, please. 590.
781?
21, 73? 21, 73? 730? People way back there start moving them up. 730? No, please. Get the sun back off the top of the next one, please. 801?
7:30?
No. 923? 557? 77?
557?
146?
877?
68? 770? 809? 870? 870? 723?
870? 621?
They're way back there, start moving them up. 723? 681?
723? 22, right here.
31? 927? 19?
330, all the way in here. 629? 88, 27?
799?
651? 625?
95? 382?
95? Right here on the end, 23. 382?
750?
So you're gonna be at 31 all the way in the end. You're up here. Take your time, okay?
677?
750?
Yes.
230? And you're at 31. And you're 32.
677? 519? 579?
677? 833?
851?
And then 44? 575? And then 235?
724?
851? 836?
527?
724? 37?
277?
527? 45, all the way in the end. 277? 44?
522?
566. 643.
522. 797.
522.
516.
842.
773.
797. 841, please. 515.
514.
Okay, you're gonna be 840.
563.
773. Okay, 31.
589.
514. Right here, 38 on the end.
793.
563. Okay, 46 all the way to the end.
793.
589.
302. 568.
793. 648. 302. 649.
198.
568. 650.
597. 958.
590. 851 right here. Yep, 590. 597.
Correct.
You're in 52, right? You're in 51 now. On 58, you have 60 all the way in.
890. 890. 2 numbers for me. 890. 259.
Okay.
734. 59 is coming to you.
Okay. 890. Then you're gonna be in 59.
642.
734. 658.
922. Nine
642.
807.
642. Okay, you're in 57. 922.
607.
356. 807. We'll be in 55. 607. 854. 558. Right here in 53.
Would everyone please stand, raise your right hand, face the clerk to be sworn and answer out loudly. Do each of you solemnly swear that you will answer truthfully all questions asked of you as prepared to word so help you God?
All right, thank you, folks. Have a seat. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to jury selection. I'm Judge Marquez. I will be the presiding judge in this case. Sorry it took us a while to get you up here. We're moving a little slower today than I thought we were going to, but we need to take our time with these cases. So please bear with us. As I said, this is jury selection. This is a criminal case. How many of you have been through jury selection before? Yeah, quite a few of you. All right, this jury selection is going to be different than what you're used to, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. But first, let me just go over a few details. Number one, you notice there's a camera in the courtroom. There is media attention in this case. The media will be here throughout the case. Don't worry about it. Just ignore them. They do not film you. They don't publish any information about you. Those paddles that we gave you have your seat numbers. When you're answering questions, raise the paddle so we can see the seat number. It's how we refer to you for two reasons. Number one, it continues to protect your privacy. And number two, it's just easier for us with a group of 60 people to identify someone quickly by their seat number. But I'll remind you of that. Masks are required in the courthouse due to the COVID pandemic, and they're required in all of the courtrooms. I know from having tried wearing one of those masks you have on for a few hours that they are uncomfortable. And I apologize for that. If you're chosen as a juror in this case, you can wear a regular mask. You don't have to wear those masks. During jury selection, we need to be able to see your faces. And that's why you have to wear these masks while you're being asked questions in the courtroom. So just bear with us. As I said, I'm going to explain the whole process in just a minute, but first let me tell you who everyone in the courtroom is and what it is that we do, because we need to know whether or not you know any of us or recognize any of us. I'm Judge Marquez. I am the presiding judge in the case. It's my job to make sure that the law is followed in this case and that the jurors are correctly instructed on the law. I also rule on objections and what evidence is admissible, and in general direct the trial. Is there anyone here who knows me or recognizes me from anywhere? I don't see any paddles. The two ladies in front of me are the court clerks. Their job is to keep track of the evidence and the paperwork during the trial. Is there anyone who knows or recognizes either one of them? Not seeing any paddles. The folks in uniform, members of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, they are here every day at the courthouse, in courtrooms and just around the courthouse, providing security. In the courtrooms, they are the ones that move the jurors around, as you've noticed. They're a liaison between the judge and the jury. If there's any kind of an issue, you tell them and they tell me. Is there anyone here who knows any of these deputies or recognizes them from anywhere? Not seeing any paddles. Lady in the front, the dark hair and the jacket, typing away, that's the court reporter. It's her job to take down every single word that is said in this courtroom. We must have an accurate record of trials. You will make her job so much easier if you will speak up when you're talking and answering questions. Because of the acoustics in this courtroom, we're going to be passing you a microphone so that we can hear you, because otherwise I can't hear you from the back of the courtroom up here. There are two things people hate: public speaking and being handed a microphone to engage in public speaking. I need you to just bear with us and speak up, speak into the microphone so we can hear you. Additionally, I need you to use words when you're answering questions. The court reporter cannot take down you shaking your head yes or no. There's no way to take that down. The other thing that makes literally no sense to us when we read it on a typed piece of paper is I don't know whether you said yes or no, so I need you to use words. Is there anyone here who recognizes the court reporter or knows her from anywhere? I'm not seeing any paddles. To my right, the gentleman representing the state of Florida. Gentlemen, if you'll introduce yourselves and read your witness list, please.
Good afternoon, my name is Ryan Williams. People both designated assistant city attorneys. Some of the witnesses that we may call in this trial include the following names: Dominique Daniels, Detective Brian Savelli of the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Timothy Stevens, Keisha Rogers, Julia Johnson, Monica Friggin, Patricia Monahan, Sean Williams of the Orlando Police Department, Detective Pete Cadis of the Orlando Police Department, Officer Brandon Thornton of the Orlando Police Department, Captain Joseph Carter, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Antoine Thomas, Peter Patrick, Stacy Monroe, Orlando Police Department, Mike Stanley, Orlando Police Department, Robert Roberts, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Paul Foster, Orlando Police Department, Deputy Chuck Ashworth, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Cleveland Jenkins, United States Marshal Service, Dr. Joshua Stephanie, Office of the Medical Examiner, Chantal Steyer, Orlando Police Department, Detective Shane Overfield, Orlando Police Department, Darlene Dunn, Edward Vanderberg, Orlando Police Department, Gary Crosby, Orlando Police Department. Sean Johnson, Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Andrew Harrison, Orange County Sheriff's Office. Dr. Sarah Zadovich, Office of the Medical Examiner. Karen Leidengood, Orlando Police Department. Richard Rude, Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Tracy Anderson, Officer Jonathan Pugh, Orlando Police Department. Ronald Stewart, Dr. Michael Gamache, Detective Alan Crudo, Dr. Michael Mayer, Marianne Mitchell, Deputy Rachel Ward, Orange County Sheriff's Office, Dr. Tanya Werner, Todd Erb, Earl Stokes, David Pinard, Howard Kuhn, Orlando Police Department, Theophilus Edwards, Brian Stribby, Ronald Guerrero, Victoria Washington, Francine Thomas, Tammy Hughes, Dorothy Patterson, Tanya Cowan, Regina Hill, Dr. Robert Buck, Tamara Coker, Jim DePalma, Dr. Emily Lazaro, Rodney Lamont, Dr. Jeffrey Nagan, Dr. Jacqueline Olander, Dr. Greg Pritchard, Tony Rowland, Dr. Joseph Sesta, and Kevin Whitmore.
Thank you. Does anyone know Mr. Williams, Mr. Buxman, or recognize the names of any of the officers, or witnesses, I'm sorry, that were called out? Juror in seat number 30, yes, ma'am. Hold on, you gotta wait for the mic.
I'm familiar with the name from FDLE, Sean Johnson. I'm employed by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
All right, do you think you would be able to be fair and impartial about any testimony that came from that witness?
I don't know.
I'm not looking, look, y'all just need to answer the question truthfully. There aren't any wrong or
Yeah.
right answers here.
I don't
No?
know.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anybody else recognize any of the names? All right, over here on my left is the defense team. Mr. Lenneman, if you'll introduce everyone and read your witness
One
list.
moment, please, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have one more? You got to really hold those paddles up, folks, so I can see you.
Number 38.
What seat number are you in, ma'am?
38.
38? Okay, yes, ma'am.
I only know Regina Hill, but not as a witness.
You just know them personally?
I just know
Okay, do you believe that that would make it difficult for you to be fair and impartial?
no.
No? Okay, thanks. And then 33, ma'am, do you have? Yes, ma'am.
Sí, buenas tardes. Yo no entiendo nada de lo que están diciendo.
All right, she just said she doesn't understand anything. I'll get to that in a minute. Un momento, por favor. Okay. She said it in Spanish. For the record. All right, anybody else? Mr. Lenneman, if you'd proceed.
Good afternoon. My name is Terrence Lenneman, and along with Ted Marrero and Kate O'Shea, we represent Markeith Loyd. I'm going to read some names out to you. Patricia Lloyd, Dana Lloyd, Tanya Lloyd, Odell Jones, Barry Jacobs, Kiana Lloyd, Damian Moton, Derek Harris, Eric Dorsey, Glenn McCree, Lorraine Harp, Jackie McCree, Jerona Lloyd, Jesse McCree, Shanika Bush, Trinika Hobbs, Tyran Wesley, Pat McKenna, Dan Doski, John Sawicki, Dr. Jethro Toomer, Dr. Marvin Dunn, Dr. Michael Mayer, Dr. Joseph Wu, Dr. Jeffrey Colino, Dr. James Campbell, Dr. William Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Lemon. Does anyone know or recognize Mr.
Oh, one more, Anna Cox. I forgot her.
Who?
last
Anna
name.
Cox? you
Yeah.
said? Okay. Does anyone know or recognize Mr. Lenneman, Mr. Marrero, Ms. O'Shea, or any of the witnesses whose names he read out? Jury seat 18. I'll be right with you, 45.
I know Shanika Bush.
I'm sorry?
I know Shanika Bush.
Okay. Ma'am, do you think that would affect your ability to be fair and impartial? No? Or yes? Okay, no. Okay. Thank you. And juror in seat 45, was it, that raised your paddle? Yes, sir.
I know Dana Lloyd.
I'm sorry?
I know Dana Lloyd.
Okay. Would that affect your ability to sit as a juror in this case?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. All right, how many jurors, just raise your paddles, don't say anything. How many jurors recognize Mr. Lloyd? Okay, thank you. All right, folks, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions. Well, let me explain first. In this case, Mr. Lloyd has been charged. He's got several counts, but one of the counts is first-degree murder. And if he is convicted of first-degree murder, the state is asking that Mr. Lloyd be sentenced to death. So this is what we call a death penalty case. Therefore, the jury selection process in these cases is done in stages. We start with today. You are the third group I have spoken to. We start with large groups, and then we ask you some basic questions and then break you down into smaller groups. It is important that you follow some basic rules. Rule number 1, please only answer the question that I'm asking you. I understand that many of you may have additional information for me. I will get to that. Not today. There are certain pieces of information I need for today. You make it through today, you will be returning for 1 day for sure, potentially 2, before a jury is selected in this case. That is how we pick juries in these types of cases. It's extremely important that we seat a jury of folks who can be fair and impartial, so the process takes a little bit longer. Secondly, jurors can make decisions, it's been a long day. Jurors' verdicts have to be based solely and only on the evidence they hear in the courtroom in the presence of everyone, the state, the judge, the defense. There's a reason for that, and it's fundamental fairness is what the reason is. People have a right to know, both sides, the state and the defense, what evidence you are considering in reaching a verdict in a case, and they have a right to challenge that evidence by asking questions, by presenting contradictory evidence if it exists. That is a fundamental concept in our system of justice. When jurors get information from outside the courtroom that nobody else knows about, you are violating everyone's right to a fair and open examination of the evidence. Therefore, I am ordering you not to read anything, listen to anything, or look up anything about this case. You are not to watch news shows about this, read things on the internet, or talk to anyone. Anyone includes your parents, your friends, your coworkers, your spouse, anyone who has an opinion or wants to talk to you about this case. None of that is allowed, and it's not admissible, and it's not fair to the parties in the case, who have no idea what you've been told and no way of addressing it. You are ordered to refrain from any conversations or any contact with information about this case outside of this courtroom. That includes talking to each other, by the way, all right? Until you're discharged as jurors or potential jurors in this case. So, For today, I'm going to be telling you a couple of things about the case beyond the fact that it's a death penalty case. Number one, this trial is expected to take 2 to 3 weeks. I give you that broad of a range because I never can predict exactly what's going to happen in the courtroom. I know it's going to take 2 weeks, and it might take up to 3. That means that at the end of that time period, we're going to hand the case over to the jury to reach a verdict. There is no clock on jurors. You can take as much time as you like reaching a verdict. We do not tell you you have this much time. That's not how this works. Because of the publicity in this case, the jury is being sequestered. What that means is you're going to get 2 to 3 weeks at a nice hotel paid for by the state of Florida, and we'll provide all of your meals. Someone's going to make your bed, clean your room. There are some upsides to this, folks. We work from 9:30 to 5:30 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. We work half days on Saturday from 9 to 1. We do not work on Sundays. That's a free day for you all, but you are at the hotel. During the time that you are at the hotel, your internet access is restricted. However, after you're done here for the day or on Sunday or Saturday, you can do online coursework if you're a student. You can look at work stuff and answer emails. You can communicate with folks as long as you're not talking about or looking at anything that's involved with this case. You can also visit with your family. Arrangements will be made for family members, spouses, children, parents, partners, that sort of thing, for you to see them while you're in sequestration. We don't expect you to go that long without seeing your loved ones. I'll give you more details on all that if you actually end up on the jury. Having said all that, I now have some questions for you. There's a lot of you here, so I'm going to do this in sections so we can keep track. Starting with the jurors in seats 1 through 7, this first row on my left. Does anyone have an employer who does not pay them while they are serving as a juror? Raise your paddles. Juror in seat number 1, we're going to pass you a microphone. All right, ma'am. Does your employer pay you?
No.
Okay. Can you pay your bills if you're not getting that money in every week?
I'll be good. I just have, I'm a student, so I am a full-time student, so that's the only thing.
I'm sorry, what?
Full-time student,
Okay.
so that would be an issue. And I would have to attend because attendance is very crucial.
All right. Are you attending online or in person or a combination?
In person,
In person.
4 times a week.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Juror in seat number 5.
My employer does not pay me.
All right. And if you're not getting paid, can you afford to pay your bills?
No.
All right. Thank you. Juror in seat number 6.
I do not have a job. I'm a full-time student, so.
Okay. Are you full-time right now?
Yes, I am.
You going online or in person?
Both.
Both?
Mm-hmm.
If you were here for 3 weeks, can you keep up with your coursework?
Yeah, I could.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. And juror in seat number 7. Yes, sir.
I just started a new job a few months ago, so I don't have paid time off.
Okay.
More than a few days.
Can you pay your bills if you're not working and
No.
not getting paid?
No.
All right. Thank you, sir. Jurors in seat 8 through 15, anybody in that row? You don't get paid by your employer. Or since they brought it up, you're a full-time student. Nope. All right. Juror in seat number 10, yes.
I have spoken to my jobs about it. I still have not received a response.
Okay, so you don't know yet?
Don't know.
Okay, thank you. Juror in seat 11.
Sí, su señoría, disculpe, pero no entiendo nada de inglés y no sé lo que se está dialogando aquí.
All right, What he said was, Your Honor, I apologize, but I don't understand anything in English. Anybody else? Juror in seat number 13.
Right. I'll get paid for this day, but if it takes 3 weeks, I'll have to submit it like to HR to see if they will pay me.
You'll have to what?
Submit it to HR.
Okay, so if HR decided you weren't, who do you work for?
Debra Pharmaceuticals.
Okay. If HR decided you weren't getting paid, can you pay your bills?
Well, not for 3 weeks.
Okay. Do you know for sure you're not getting paid, or you just,
I don't know.
you don't know?
I talked to my boss this week about this, and he told me that they would pay for 1 day, but then I'll have to submit, if I get chosen.
Okay, thank you, sir. Juror in seat 14, did you raise your paddle?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I did not get paid for jury duty, no.
All right, can you pay your bills?
I could pay my bills, yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, juror in seat number 2.
You've been mentioning this is going to be probably 3 weeks. I have a vacation and...
I'm not there yet, okay? I'll get to that in a minute. I just have to stay on topic. Thank you. All right, jurors from seats 16 through 22, which is the second row on my left, who doesn't get paid by their employer? Juror in seat 18.
So
Yes.
we get paid, but it's not determined how long they will pay us.
All right, so you're not sure yet, you'd have to check?
Right, like I get paid for today, and if it's more days, it would have to be determined by HR.
Okay, thank you. Can you pay your bills if you're not getting paid?
I could.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, in seat 17, did you raise your paddle?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I will not get paid.
Can
No,
you
I
pay your
can't
bills?
afford to.
I'm sorry?
No, I will not get paid, and I can't afford to pay my bills.
All right, thank you. I think the juror in seat 22, you have your paddle raised.
I don't get paid, but I'll be good with bills.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I'm a full-time student, so I won't be able to attend for the 3 weeks.
Can you make up the 3 weeks?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, jurors in seats 23 through 30. Anyone who doesn't get paid or is a full-time student? No. All right. Jurors in seats 31 through 37. All right. Seat 34.
I'm self-employed.
Okay, what kind of work do you do?
I'm an online teacher.
You're an online teacher?
Yes.
Do you do that, is that a set schedule that you have, or you do it when you can?
I do it when I can. It's flexible 1099 work.
Okay. If you weren't able to do it except after court, would you be able to make enough money to pay your bills?
No.
Okay, thank you. Someone else raised their paddle in that row. I don't know who it is. Yes, ma'am, you don't speak English, right?
Yes, continúo con la misma inquietud. No entiendo
It's
nada
okay,
de lo
ma'am.
que
I
está
understand you don't understand me, okay? Juror in seat number 37.
I don't get paid for today, and I wouldn't be able to afford my bills unless I work.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Jurors in seat 38 through 45. Anybody who doesn't get paid. All right, juror in seat 38.
I don't get paid, and I won't be able to pay my bills.
All right. Who else? Juror in seat 39?
Yes, I won't get paid, but I can make ends meet.
Okay, when you say you can make ends meet, is that going to be a struggle or you're comfortable?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. And juror in seat number 44?
Up to 10 days.
You get paid 10 days? All right, so say the trial ran 3 weeks, which would be about 21 days. Can you afford to lose that income? I'm sorry, what? Okay. Thank you. All right, jurors in seats 46 through 52. Anybody who doesn't get paid? Anyone's a full-time student? I don't see any paddles. Jurors in seats 53 through 60. Anyone who doesn't get paid? All right, 53?
I'm not sure if they would pay me for 3 weeks, but I can pay my bills.
I can't hear you, ma'am. I'm sorry, what?
I said I'm not sure if they would pay me
You don't
for
know?
3 weeks, but I can pay my bills.
All right, thank you. Juror in seat 54?
No, I'm not getting paid and I won't be able to afford it.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody I missed? Any full-time students I missed? All right. Now, I know juror in seat number 2 is going to answer this one already. Anyone who has a paid vacation that is already set and already paid for? Juror in seat number 2. Hold on, they're going to get you a mic.
Yes, I'm going the 21st. I'm going for 1 week to New Jersey.
Have you already bought the plane tickets?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Juror in seat 18.
I leave on the 20th and won't be back until the 27th.
20th to the 27th of October?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay, everybody does it. Have you already paid for the trip?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. Juror in seat 32?
I have an out-of-town obligation from the 22nd. Yes.
When you say it's an obligation, is that work-related?
It is not, ma'am.
Okay. Have you already paid for the trip?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Juror right behind you at 47. Well, congratulations, that's a happy event.
Thank you.
So you're flying out October 22nd for your daughter's wedding? All right, thank you, ma'am. To New York City? Oh, that's going to be an expensive wedding. Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else on this side? All right, juror in seat 24.
I have 2 different trips planned already, one for the 14th and 15th, the other for of this month, and the other for the 20th through the 23rd of this month.
And are those pleasure or work-related?
They are personal and they are already paid for.
And they're always what?
They are already paid for.
Okay, thank you. 29.
I actually have a personal trip planned tonight. I leave town and I come back Tuesday.
Okay, I can accommodate that, but what time are you supposed to leave tonight?
7:30.
Is that a flight?
Yes.
You're going to make that flight.
Yes,
I want you to
am.
stop stressing, okay?
Thank you.
Once you get in the courtroom, it's not that long, but I have to get you in here first. All right, juror in seat number 30. Yes, ma'am.
I have a paid vacation to out of state from the 23rd to the 30th.
Okay, thank you. 38?
Your Honor, I'll be moving from one apartment to another one on October 31st.
You're moving on Halloween?
I have no choice.
All right, thank you, ma'am. 39.
Yes, I have a family reunion plan from the 23rd to the 29th. It's already been paid for.
Is that October or November? All right, thank you, ma'am. 60.
Yes, I have a trip planned from to the 24th,
I didn't hear the first date.
October 21st to the 24th.
Okay. Has it already been paid for?
Yeah, the lodging's paid for, yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody I missed? Oh, juror in seat 58.
Hi, I have a trip planned October 29th to November 1st, but it has not been paid for yet.
Okay, is that for fun or work?
Personal.
All right. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? All right, anyone who has child care issues? Juror in seat number 10? Tell me about it.
I have 2 children, and I do not have any immediate families that can pick them up from school. My wife and I, we alternate, but I'm the only one that picks them up when she's at work.
So if you're not there to pick them up, can she pick them up?
No, she's working.
Okay. Juror in seat 15?
Yes, I have a little guy who I take to school every morning. He rides with me. He would ride with the school bus, but he comes with me because I teach, but he also attends.
Okay. How old's the little guy?
11.
Okay. And if you weren't there, who would do it?
Him, I don't really have anyone that can take him. I have someone that can pick him up, just not take him to school.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. 56?
I have 2 kids I take to school and pick up every day.
What are their ages, sir?
12 and 17.
12 and 17?
Yes.
Okay. And if you weren't there, who would pick them up?
I have no one.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you just said. What?
I have no one. It's just me.
Okay. Does the 17-year-old drive?
Not yet.
Probably a smart move on your part.
Working on it.
Anybody else who has child care issues? All right. I sympathize, believe me, I sympathize, as we all do actually, with work backing up while you're in trials. It can be stressful, it can be worrying. It's not a legal reason for me to excuse you from jury duty. So listen carefully to the question that I am asking you. Does anyone have a work obligation that you are the only person who can do it that would prevent you from serving as a juror in this case? Juror in seat 34. Is this other than the fact that you're self-employed, sir?
No, basically, if I don't work, I don't get paid, and there are financial penalties also, financial.
Okay. Thanks. Anybody else? All right, juror in seat number 10.
I'm the only diversion specialist for the entire county for Osceola County.
What is it you do for them?
I'm a diversion specialist where child protective investigators contact me for different resources with dealing with child abuse.
So when you're not there, who does it for you?
They may contact the supervisor.
Okay. You work for Golf Course Coast? Yeah. Anybody else? Juror in seat number 47. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Without a mic, we can't hear.
I'm sorry. I work for a financial institution, and there's only 3 of us in the team. Right now, there's only 1 of us in the office today because my other colleague's husband had a triple bypass, so she's out. I stood out today, leaving only 1 behind. Next week, the other one's scheduled to be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so I have to be in the office.
What happens if you're not?
No one's getting the work done, and they're gonna make us. Unfortunately, the position I do, it's not an hourly position, it's a salary position, so somebody has to do it, regardless if I have to work around the clock late at night. But somebody needs to be on the computer because it is an international. We work around globally with clients around the world. So we already had it prepped that she's taking vacation most of the next week, so I can be off the following week for my daughter's wedding.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
So we gotta be backing each other up. You know, both of us cannot be out at the same time.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Anybody else? All right, anyone have a medical issue that makes it difficult for them to sit as a juror? We do take breaks every hour to hour and a half. Juror in seat 31.
I got hurt, my knee is hurting.
Ma'am, I can't hear you.
Right now
I'm
even.
sorry. What?
I have knee problem.
You have knee problems?
Yes.
All right. Does that make it hard for you to sit for long periods?
Yes, please.
You've now been sitting for about 30 minutes. How are you doing?
I just took the, medicine. Painkiller for that.
Okay. Does the medicine affect your ability to concentrate?
I don't know.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. The gentleman behind you, the juror in seat number 46.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I've got 2 appointments coming up with the VA. They're service-connected disabilities. One of them happens to be for a blood disorder, and I have sleep clinics scheduled for the first week of November.
The first week in what? November?
November, yes, ma'am. For sleep apnea.
If you had to reschedule those appointments with the VA, how long would it take?
The sleep study has been scheduled since the end of August.
Okay.
The specialist, I could probably squeeze in a 30-day period.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can you pass the mic back to him? Just pass the mic back to seat 47, please, or 46. That can't be right. You have to be seat 47, is that correct? No, you're 46 and you're 47? All right, I'll go along with that. Sir, your sleep disorder, does it cause you to fall asleep unexpectedly?
No, ma'am. Just, I'm not going to say unexpectedly, but during some idle times, I get drowsy and sometimes start nodding off.
Okay. So if you're sitting for a long time listening to testimony and that, do you think you can stay awake or are you going to have trouble staying awake?
To be honest with you, ma'am, I couldn't answer that one right now. I haven't had, most of my activities are up and about during the day, and I haven't really sat around.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else have a medical issue? Seat 42.
I have slight hearing loss, and I'm having a little bit of difficult time even hearing some of the questions that you've been asking.
Okay. We have a hearing aid. Would you like to try using that?
I don't have a hearing aid.
No, we have one for you. Hold on.
Oh, please.
We're gonna work.
I missed the chocolate question. Thank you.
Okay.
How's that?
Oh, yeah, perfect. Maybe I should get hearing aids, I guess.
Well, I can't give you that one, but I can loan it to you while you're in the courtroom.
Okay, thank
All right, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else have any medical issues? Seat number 50?
I have a overreactive blood, and sometimes I have to go to the bathroom a little bit more
Sir, I
frequent.
can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Move it
What?
closer
to your mouth.
I have an overreactive bladder. Sometimes I got to go to the bathroom a little
Okay.
more frequent.
Like I said, we take breaks every hour to hour and a half during trials. Is that sufficient for you?
Yes, sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just,
All right. If at any point you need to go to the restroom, let me know. All right?
okay, thanks.
All right, does anyone have any reason that it would be hard for them to sit on this panel that I haven't asked you, that I haven't thought of? Juror in seat number 46.
Ma'am, for lack of better terms, I'm going to call this trivial, but my wife hits a milestone with her retirement on the 27th of October.
That's not trivial. That is a milestone. All right, so you were planning on celebrating that, or just staying home with her, or what?
Well, she works over in Tampa, and that's where her ceremony is going to be held at on the 27th.
All right, thank you, sir. Juror in seat 16, was it? Yeah, 16.
I'm opposed to the death penalty.
We're not talking about that right now, but we'll get to that. Thank you. Remember when I said I'm only going to ask you specific questions? We'll get to that one, sir. All right. Juror in seat 38.
Due to my religion, I don't believe I'll be able to be a juror.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Can you pass it down, please? Hold on. Juror in seat 45.
Judge, I don't know if you're going to get to this, but I've known the Loyd family.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. I've made a note, sir. Thank you. Juror in seat 22.
I don't know when the trial is going to start if I were to be picked, but I do have a child that I will be watching, a 12-year-old, from after school Monday for the whole week. I'll have her overnight all week.
Talking about next week?
Yes.
Okay. Juror in seat 14.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's considered significant, but I do have a wedding that I was planning to go on. It's here in Orlando, but I promised to go, but that's just my only obligation.
What day is the wedding?
It's on the 24th.
Are you in the wedding party?
I mean, I'm attending as a guest, but I don't
Okay.
know how serious that would be.
Thank you. Number 10.
I didn't recognize any of the names that was mentioned earlier, but my jobs, I do come in contact with law enforcement. I don't recognize all the names, but they are required to. Most of our cases that comes with law enforcement as mandated reporters, so it's impossible for me to recognize any of the names. But I do work with law enforcement as well.
Okay. Do you work with them only in Osceola County, or do you also work with them in Orange?
Where there are times there's cases in Orange County that gets transferred if the family moves around from different, because we're dealing with high-risk cases, so it all depends.
Thank you. Anybody else we missed? Juror in seat 53. I can't hear you. I literally cannot hear a word you're saying.
I said, I'm
There you
kind of scared of catching COVID.
What?
Scared of catching COVID.
You're scared of catching COVID?
Yeah.
All right. Ma'am, this courthouse is under some fairly strict safety protocols for COVID. These courtrooms are sanitized all the time. They're sanitized every night. The jury room is sanitized every night. As you know, masks are mandatory in this courthouse. Knowing all of that, are you still concerned about COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any issues? All right. I don't have any other questions for you folks. Does anybody need to take a break? All right. Why don't you guys step out into the hallway and take a break? Let me talk to the lawyers, and juror in seat number 40, did you have something you wanted to say? No? You're just getting ready for that break. All right. Leave your paddles on the seats. Do not talk about this case with each other. All right? I'll call you back in the courtroom in a few minutes. She may not be able. Yeah, as soon as I bring them back, when I bring them back in, I'm going to do the selection. So yeah, go ahead and call them so that they can come on it. All right, this way none of us has to listen to the white noise. In jurors 1 through 7, juror number 1 is a full-time student and expressed concern about being here. Any objections from state? Defense?
No, Your Honor. May we remain seated for this?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Marrero, did you say something?
No objection, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, thanks. Juror in seat number 2 says he has a vacation plan from October 21st to the 28th. State?
No objection.
Defense?
No objection.
Juror in seat number 5 can't pay his bills. Any objections from state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Juror in seat number 6 is a full-time student, but she indicated that she did not indicate she wanted to be let out of the jury.
She's a patriot, though.
She didn't say that, but all right. Mr. Marrero, since you're doing the objections, you fine with her? She didn't say she wanted out. She's a full-time
No,
student.
she didn't. I mean,
Okay, so I'm going to leave her in.
yeah, we can leave her in.
Juror in seat number 7 can't pay bills. State?
No objection.
Defense?
No objection.
All right, juror in seat number 10 doesn't know whether he gets paid, but he's got child care issues. Defense?
I don't have any objection to him being stricken.
No objection.
Okay. Juror in seat number 11 can't understand a word of English. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
Juror in seat 13 can't pay bills, but doesn't really know whether or not they get paid. You want me to bring them back for individual and instruct them to find out? Okay.
We can't judge her. We can let him out now. I mean, it's up to you.
I'm fine with bringing them back. No, but I'll give them instructions to make sure they know.
Okay.
Juror in seat number 14 can't pay bills. Any objections?
Judge, my notes indicate that he's not paid, but he could pay.
Oh, he can pay his bills. You're right.
Right.
I can't read my own handwriting. He's the one that has a wedding on the 24th.
In
State?
Orlando.
What?
In Orlando, where he's not in the wedding plan.
All right. I'm just bringing it all up. Everybody good with leaving him on?
We don't
Right.
believe
Yeah,
there's a
I'd
conflict.
leave him on.
I don't disagree. All right. Number 15 raised a child care issue, 11-year-old son. She takes him to school.
Judge, my understanding is you're going to start at 9:30.
Yeah.
I would think that.
She's sequestered.
Good point. Good point.
I know where you were going with that, Mr. Williams. Let me stop you right now.
No objection.
All right.
No objection. Your Honor.
Thanks. Juror in seat number 16, he's the gentleman. I'm going to bring him back for individual questioning on the death penalty. All right.
Okay.
Juror in seat number 17 can't pay his bills. Any objection? It's a her. Sorry.
No, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Juror 18. Let's see. Vacation October 20th to the 27th. Doesn't know if the employer pays her and knows Shamika Bush.
No objection to releasing victim.
No objection.
Okay. Juror in seat 19, 20, and 21, I don't see any issues. 22 is a full-time student. She said it would be a problem. That alone, by statute, lets her out.
21 as well.
Is it 21?
Right.
It seemed to me I was making a wrong note. Okay, so 21 is the full-time student. So any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objection.
Okay. 22 has an after-school issue next week, which is not a problem. She says she doesn't get paid, but she was okay with bills, so I'm bringing her back for individual, unless I hear some objections. All right. 24 has vacations October 20th through the 23rd and 14th through the 15th. The 14th through the 15th is not a problem. 20 through 23 might be. State?
No objection to releasing those.
No objection, Judge.
Okay. Next one I show is 30. That's a can't be fair FDLE employee defense. You moving for cause? Yeah.
Move
Okay.
to strike for cause.
State. All right. 31. The lady with the knee problems who takes medicine, but she doesn't know whether the medicine affects her ability
We
to.
remove, I watched her walk in with a lot of difficulty.
Yeah, no objection, Judge.
No. Okay. I'll strike her. Juror 30 in seat 32, vacation October 22nd to the 30th. Defense?
We'd move for cause.
You good? State?
No objection to releasing information.
Okay. 33 can't speak any English.
Right.
I'm releasing her.
No objection.
No objection.
34 can't pay his bills. He's self-employed.
Right.
No objection.
No objection.
37 can't pay bills.
No objection.
All right.
No objection.
38 can't pay her bills.
No objection.
She gave us other things, but that's the specific one I'm finding. Just can't pay her bill.
No objection to
All
number
right.
38.
39, vacation October 23rd to 29th, and she can pay her bills. So based on the vacation, defense?
No objection.
No objection, Judge.
All right. 44, paid 10 days, but she said she was fine with being here, so
Right.
I'm not releasing her. 45, knows the entire Loyd family, doesn't feel he can be fair. State?
They would move the cause.
Defense?
Judge, could we maybe bring Mr. Francis back and inquire a little bit more about that? I mean, he kind of danced around it, but
I don't think he danced around it. He said, I know the entire Loyd family. I don't think I can do this, but I'll bring him back. I'll let you ask him some questions.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Juror in seat 46. He's got the 2 medical appointments, the October 27th retirement ceremony for his wife. State?
No, Judge, we're not going to move on.
Okay. Defense?
I'm sorry, did he say
I'll
we're not
bring,
going to move?
state's not, doesn't want to strike
We
him.
would,
so-
I think, he's going to be 70 on November 2nd.
Yeah,
So that
that's,
would make him ineligible at that time, I believe.
he's got to bring it up. He hasn't. I can't strike him because of his age. So I'll bring him back for individual. We'll see how he does. 47, she's got her daughter's wedding in New York City. Any objection, State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. The gentleman in seat 50 who's got the bladder issue, I'm inclined to bring him back. He seems to be doing okay, but you
You're
can come on in
inclined
and
to?
get the
Yeah, no, we wouldn't move.
State. You good with bringing him back?
No motion.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror in seat 53 doesn't know if her employer will pay her, can't pay her bills if they don't, and she's scared of catching COVID. State? Defense?
No objection.
All right. Number is seat 53. Seat 54, can't pay bills.
No objection.
No objection from the state.
All right. Seat 56 has the 12 and 17-year-olds that he's responsible for something about school, either picking up or dropping off or both. I
He's
don't.
sequestered, so he can't do it.
That's a good point,
that's
Mr.
right.
Williams.
No objection.
That is a solid point on your part. Any objections from defense?
No objection.
No? Okay. Seat 58, he doesn't get paid, and, oh, I'm sorry, he has a vacation that isn't paid for, so I'm inclined to bring him back for individual voir dire.
Always prepaid.
And seat number 60, he's out of vacation from October 21st to the 24th. Defense?
We'd move for cause.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, Judge, we'd move for cause.
State? All right. All right, so bring in juror in seat number 45, please. I'm going to let you ask him questions about his connection to the Loyd family. And if they can start pulling the other panel, please. Getting the other panel ready to come up. It's juror number 527. Sir, come on up here to the front. Okay. We just have a couple more questions for you, all right? And can you tell me a little bit more about how long you've known the Loyd family?
Probably since I was maybe 17 or 18. I'm 48 now.
Okay. Do you socialize with any of them?
I see Dana every now and then, and my best friend had a baby with Dana, so I've known Dana since we were teenagers.
Do you know Mr. Loyd himself, Markeith Loyd, the defendant in this case?
Yeah.
Okay. Given that relationship that you have with the family, look, jurors have to come into this case, number one, presuming Mr. Loyd is innocent. Number two, the state has to prove he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And number three, you have to keep an open mind, be able to listen to all the testimony and the evidence, and then reach a verdict based on the law as I give it to you. You decide the facts as a juror. I tell you what the law is. You apply facts to law and reach a verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you can do that?
I do, but it would be hard.
Okay.
Personally, it'd be hard.
So if at the end of the whole case, you thought that the state had proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Loyd was guilty, could you render that verdict?
I could.
All right. And if, having decided he was guilty, you then have to go to the penalty phase to vote on either a life sentence or a death sentence, could you keep an open mind as to both sentences and follow the law on that?
I can't say that right now, Judge. I can't say that right now.
Okay. State, you wish to inquire?
Yes. We appreciate honesty, sir. What about?
Mr. Williams, do you have your microphone on?
I don't, but I'll talk loud if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have it on.
Yeah, because I'm having trouble hearing you, so.
You said you can't say that, and you were specifically answering questions about the potential death. What prevents you from saying that on that aspect, so you have some belief you can as guilt?
I do it. I know right from wrong, but it would pain me to do that. It would pain me to, even though I have the facts and I have everything in front of me, it would pain me to do that, to be honest, and it would pain me.
Would that relationship that you have with the family enter your mind or be a part of your thought process while you were deliberating on potential sentences?
Yeah, I think it would.
You think it would be hard to set that aside?
Yeah, I think it would.
That's all the question. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of defense, who wants to ask questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you so much, sir. If you can step back out in the hallway. All right, state as to the juror in seat number 45,
State moves for cause, Your Honor.
defense. All right, he's struck. Was that the only one we needed to talk to? All right. I can't hear you, Mr. Linneman. What?
I just have two things to bring up briefly. Mr. Loyd had asked me to revisit my previous objection on the jurors being sequestered. I filed a motion, you denied it.
Can we do that after this panel?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll give you time to do all of these things, just not right now. I got people waiting downstairs. All right. Bring them all back in again. We're gonna get ready to do this. You're gonna hit when, well, yeah, we're gonna finish yellow. I gave you green. Yeah, that one's fine. Quit touching my stuff. I don't think I have enough. I think I have enough to fill up Tuesday, so we may need green. So you may want to take a look at it. Okay, I think you did because I gave it to you. You got everybody? All right, welcome back, folks. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call you one by one, and I'm either going to release you with our thanks for serving today, or I'm going to tell you to come back. If I tell you to come back, please pull your badge out of that plastic wrapper. See this lady right here with the nice mask and the smile that you can't see behind her mask? She's going to have a colored dot for you. The colors are just because when you call into the jury number we're going to give you, it identifies jurors as yellow dots, green dots. We can't call all these numbers, so we just identify you by a group. You're going to be given a specific date and time to return for individual voir dire. During that time, between now and when you return, you are not to look up anything about this case. You are not to discuss this case with anyone. Just tell everyone that you can't talk about it. Stay off the internet about this case. Stay off Facebook, social media. We monitor all of that during these jury selections to make sure people are following the rules. Remember what I told you about being fundamentally fair to both sides. And don't talk to each other about this. Everyone, whether you are released or you're coming back, you need to report to the jury room before you leave the courthouse. They're going to give you a document for your employer or your school or whoever you need, and they're going to give you some additional instructions. So don't leave without going to the jury room. You can keep the mask. They're our gift to you. All right. Jurors in seats number 1 and 2, you're excused with the thanks of the court. You can go. As soon as I excuse you, you're free to go. Juror in seat number 3, you are returning on Tuesday, next Tuesday at 10:30 to this courtroom for individual voir dire. Take your badges out just so that this process moves a little quicker. Juror in seat number 4, you are returning on Tuesday to this courtroom at 10:30. Juror in seat number 5, you're excused with the thanks of the court. Juror in seat number 6, you're returning on Tuesday at 10:30 to this courtroom. Those of you returning are getting an additional letter to show your employers. And that completes the 10:30 slots. Juror in seat number 7, you're excused. Thank you, sir. Juror in seat number 8, you're returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Juror in seat number 9, you're returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Jurors in seats 10 and 11, you are excused. Thank you very much. You're free to go. Juror in seat number 12 and 13, well, 12, you're returning on Tuesday at 1:30. Yes. Because? Hold on. Hold on.
I was just texting my manager, I only get paid for today. And on top of that, if I take 3 weeks off, I'm going to lose my job.
When were you talking to your manager?
I was just talking to him in the bathroom.
State.
No objection.
Defense. All right, sir, you're excused. Juror in seat number 13, you're coming back Tuesday at 1:30, but I need you to talk to your office and find out whether you get paid or not before you come back. All right. Yep. Juror in seat 14, you're coming back Tuesday at 1:30. Juror in seat 15, you're excused. Juror in seat 16, you're coming back Tuesday at 1:30. Pull your badges out so that this goes faster, folks. Jurors in seats 17 and 18, you are excused. Thank you. Juror in seat 19, you're returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Juror in seat 20, you're returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Juror in seat 21, you are excused. Thank you. Juror in seat 22, you're returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Juror in seat 23, you are returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Juror in seat 24, you're excused. Thank you. Jurors, all right, folks, I'm going to call out 5 folks in a row. You need to pull your badges out. Jurors in seat 25. Well, no, actually, I'm going to call 25. You're returning at 1:30 on Tuesday. Seats 26, 27, 28, and 29, you're returning at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. Yes, what can I help you with? I can't hear you without a mic. I can't hear you without a mic. Hold on.
I won't be able to come.
Can't hear a thing you're saying. What?
I won't be able to come because of the same problem that the guy in front of me had. I will get fired from work if I don't go.
How do you know that? Did you talk to someone at your office?
No, I just know that I won't be able to come.
State.
We won't move at this time.
Okay. Defense? Sir, you need to talk to your office. You need to be here on Tuesday at 3 o'clock and bring me something from your office saying that you'd lose your job if you weren't going to be here.
Well, I
All
just,
right, thank you. Seat 28, 29, have they already been given their badges? Yes. Seat number 30, you're excused. Thank you. No problem. Only the mask is a gift, folks. Leave the paddle behind. All right, 30's excused, 31, 32, 33, and 34. You're all excused. Thank you very much. Seat number 35, you know what that means. You're coming back Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Seat number 36, you're returning Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Seats number 37, 38, and 39, you are excused. Thank you very much. Seat number 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44, you're all coming back. Yeah. At 3 o'clock on Tuesday. 40, 41, 42, 43. 3 o'clock on Tuesday. All right, moving on to Wednesday. All right, seat number 44, you're returning Wednesday at 9 a.m. 9 o'clock Wednesday. We're now green, yeah. Seat 45, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Seat 46, you're returning at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. That's not your doctor's day, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Seat number 47, you're excused. Seats number 48, 49, 50, 51, and 52, you're all coming back Wednesday at 9 a.m. I'm sorry? Yes, 48, 49, 50, 51, and 52. Seat.
Seat 51, paddle.
Everybody really likes these paddles. They keep trying to steal them. All right. Seats 53 and 54, you are excused. Thank you. Seat 55, you're returning Wednesday at 9. Seat 56, you're excused. Seats 57, 58, and 59, you're returning Wednesday at, I'm sorry. Seats 57 and 58, you are returning Wednesday at 9. And seat number 59, you're returning Wednesday at 10:30. Seat number 60, you're excused. Thank you. 59 is coming back at 10:30 on Wednesday. All right, stretch, take a break. We've got the last